Welcome, everybody, to A Balanced Life with Dr. Jacquie here on Black Star Network. And let me tell you, it's the holidays, navigating the stress, the wonderful time of the year, seemingly supposing to be a season of peace. It oftentimes can be the most stressful. Today, we're going to be diving into all of the pressures related to the holidays. Should I buy this gift? Should I buy that gift? Who should I sit next to whoever at the dinner? There are so many questions that we all have to answer. But today we have some wonderful panelists here who are going to talk to us about those very things. We're joined today by Charlotte Avery, our life strategist, and Katrina Smith, our educator and business owner. Welcome in, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, so I can say I woosah already. And I know a lot of people are going to laugh about this at the level of annoyance for Christmas to come before all of the other holidays. It's like the decorations are up before Thanksgiving. The decorations are up before Halloween. And people are sitting around thinking, in this economy, I'm not so sure about Christmas and what everything is going to look like, for our family. And as you all think about what it is you're going to be doing and, tips and tricks for families to sort of figure out how to navigate this season and this space, I'm going to ask Charlotte Avery this question, because Charlotte, as a mom who is balancing not only middlers, but also your grown-agers, how are you managing talking to them about the holidays? If you've even started this conversation, and for many of our parents, when is it too soon to engage your kids in family dynamics?
Well, I think that's a really great question. Personally, I don't think that it's too early to engage your children. I think it's just how you engage them. I think it's also about being age appropriate. What might work for my middle schooler versus my high schoolers versus my, emerging adults who are in college. Those conversations can be the same, but how I'm navigating those conversations are definitely different. And, when it comes to the holidays, especially like where we are right now, some things I'm just, are just things that everybody needs to know, like even just with the economy and where we are. I bleed like Christmas and the holidays and things of that nature. But as my children are, getting older and, as they're growing up, as I'm growing up, we're doing a lot of, transitioning. And for me, because I know that my children are used to certain things, it's like just because they're used to certain things doesn't mean that I always have to keep doing those things. So as I'm like, transitioning and transforming in dynamics, I bring them along and I let them know, hey, I know that we were doing this or that over the years, but this year we're doing this. And you know what? I do my best not to go rogue, because I do go rogue sometimes. Sometimes like I'm just doing this and that's it. But I really try to include them in on the conversation, not just telling them my thoughts, but also asking them, what is this transition or transformation? What is that going to look and feel like? How are you going to feel about it? Because I really do want to impact. I really want them to have a say, and I don't want them to be impacted in a negative way. And so I think it's important for us as parents to include them, to know their feelings, to respect their feelings. And if there are some things I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore, but they're like, oh, mommy, you're always, doing this or whatever. Can we still do this? Then it's just a conversation that we have to have. So I just think that conversation, communication, and just really, putting it all out there, telling them my thoughts and feelings, but also hearing their thoughts and feelings, because it's a two-way street. Everything that goes on in our house is not just about me. It's about them. They live here. And even the ones who are away, at school, this is still their home. They still come back here. They're still used to certain things. So I try to take all of those things into consideration.
So let me ask you a follow-up question, because when you think about the holidays, what is the first word that comes to mind for you for the holidays?
Decorations.
Oh my God.
And I haven't even started decorating yet. I haven't even started. No, but I'm so behind. Like my son came home for fall break and he was like, he came in and he told me that he looked around the corner to see if our Christmas tree was up. like you say, I still have my fall blanket. I still have my fall pillows, whatever. But I mean, he was like, oh my gosh, Mom, you had self-control. Like you didn't put the tree up. But usually even if I put the tree up, I don't start decorating it. I just start putting all the trees where they're going to be, because in our house, we end up having a lot of trees.
I'm gonna hold that for another block, because that is one of the things that I notice when people start putting all their Pinterest things up, that they're a host of trees in many places, from front yards to backyards. And we'll talk about that a little later. So your first word that comes to mind is decorating. And I think that that's amazing, because it does set the tone. Let me just tell y'all, I never took down some of my fireplace Christmas stuff. So I'm just going to say that, because for me this season, I know you're shaking your head, but let me just say,
I love that for you.
So after November, and we were all in our feelings about a lot of things, come January, February, I was like, I'm not going to take down Christmas, because I feel like I'm going to need joy all year round.
Joy.
And that was the space that I was in. So there's still a few things that are laying around. So I'm going to ask Katrina about that. When you think of your first word for the holidays, what comes to mind?
Food.
So food. you cooking this year? You delegating?
I cook every holiday. That is something I don't take off. I will cook for the holidays, and I like a good theme. It doesn't. One day may be traditional, but not every day. I prefer to mix it up and have some themed meals, especially for the grandchildren. So I like to plan out what we're eating for the days that everybody's here, what it's going to look like. I'm all about the experience. I want people, if they're coming into my house, to feel like they're coming to a bed and breakfast, have a little bag with treats in it, things out that they can munch on as they're here, movie times. I want it to be about an experience, because my children are older and I have grandchildren. So every moment that I get with them, I want it to feel like an experience.
I can respect that. I think that's amazing, because, I think for us during the holidays, like if we're all together, we try to pick a movie that the family can go and watch. It's like we've eaten, folks are watching football, we're like past. And so we'll kind of figure out, what it is that we like to do, just to build tradition and those types of words that, give people this sense of family, this sense of belonging. And, during this season, I'm thinking, So when we think about all of the things that are happening during the holidays, and, families are all over the place, kids are in college, do we bring them home? Do we not bring them home? How important is it, to have tradition or create family moments that are just your family moments? So as you were saying, Charlotte, with your son coming home for the holidays, looking for those things, what does it mean, to start those traditions that matter for long term that you can carry on?
It means a lot. I mean, because like for me, there are certain things that I will always continue to do. Like I have, like right now, I have a pumpkin spice, apple cider bar up. I'll have a candy cane Christmas themed cocoa bar. And I like changing those themes for them, but they're always like looking for those things. So that is a traditional thing for us, waking up together, during the holidays and doing things is a tradition for us. And let me just say, when it comes to these traditions, somebody might be watching this and they might be really single, like they may be single as a Pringle right now, right? And what they're doing with their family is what they're doing with their family. But one thing that I learned as once I got married and our family started growing, because y'all know I have 7 children, my ability or our family's ability to like travel long distances for periods of time or whatever, it changed. And so, before I got married, no, not before I got married, after we got married and we didn't have kids, we would rotate, we would go to my husband's family's house, and then we would rotate next year and come to my family's house. But now our traditions have changed, that we do we do the things that we do here, and then we decide, what we're going to do outside of our home with our family members and things of that nature. Because I mean, let's just be real, like our family is large. We have a 9-person family, Avery party of 9. But everybody's house everybody can't fit our family into their home. And so we respect that. And so for me, it's easier. When my children were younger, it was easier for me to pack them up and travel and do whatever. Now we have all these people in our family, which I love and adore, and it's easier for people to come to us. And so, we appreciate when people come to us. Our house is very, family, kid friendly and all the things. And we also appreciate the people who don't want to come to visit us too. So, and that's fine.
I appreciate that because, everything isn't for everybody. Katrina, holidays and the movements and people coming in, does any of that, make your chest heavy and give you anxiety? And for those who have the ability or the responsibility of coordinating, what are some of the tips that you can give them to waylay those, concerns and the heaviness of entertaining?
So no, I get excited planning. So like I will start planning now, creating like, what do I want to do? Looking at what activities we can do, what day maybe people are here. And I will go back to something Charlotte said about your family. We're a family of 5, so I'm not that big, right? I have 3 kids. But what's interesting is that when your kids get married, that changes the dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from, I had Christmas and holidays all to myself, that I had to start sharing. Mm-hmm. And that can be a hard time for people as they navigate the holiday season. Like you're used to your family traditions. We all wear pajamas, we do something Christmas Eve, we all bake together, and then your kids get married and that stops. And so what do? You have to recreate traditions or decide what the traditions look like and how do they look differently in this space, because now everything has changed. You have new members in your family. They have family they want to visit. And so, especially if you're the mom of boys, you're kind of feeling like your second fiddle, and you have to kind of navigate that, right? I say to anyone that's planning for Christmas or any holiday, start early. Ask your family, when are you available? Maybe you do something that we do. Maybe, Christmas is at everybody's house because they're married, engaged, or whatever. But the day after Christmas, you all do Christmas again together. So you have to navigate. Maybe you don't get to do it on the same day as the holiday, but maybe you do it that weekend. Do you plan like, okay, what activity can we all do? What's something everybody would like to do? And with the economy we're in and where people are right now, some of the best things you're going to do is being in the house together, looking over old photos, dancing to the Stephanie Mills challenge, sharing time together, right? Doing the Chris Brown challenge, if you got skills like that. I mean, those are the things that you won't ever forget. You're making memories and creating experiences with your family.
I like that. When we come back after the break, not only do we try to navigate and figure out how to deal with this holiday pressure cooker, there are a couple of other things that need to be considered, like presence over perfection. When we come back in a moment after the break, let's talk about just your presence and the matter and the means in which you can show up and make things just as engaging and exciting. We'll be back in a moment after the break.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. And I know as we're thinking about what the holidays are going to look like and how we are navigating all of the things related to the economy, one of the things that's really most important is just you being there. Sometimes this spirit of togetherness can actually be a good thing. Whereas I know people in your house and everything that's going on can get on your last nerve. Being around people that you love and enjoy, decorating together, cooking together, teaching young people new skills can be so much fun. So let's talk about that for a moment, ladies, because oftentimes people are striving for perfection. Oh, the decorating has to be this way, and the charcuterie board has to be placed just this way, and so is coming. And so we have to have these things out for them. Why do people think that perfectionism is the right way to go when oftentimes just be thankful and grateful that people could be there? Charlotte, talk to us about that, because I know people kill themselves over trying to be perfectionists for the holidays.
I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people. I mean, the holidays mean a lot to me, but I used to be one of those people where I wanted everything to be, perfect in its place, whatever. But as my family grew, it was not going to be, I had to realize, everything is not going to be perfect. And just when I thought it was perfect, somebody's going to come along, they're going to move something, they're going to touch something, something's going to shift. And it used to make me go crazy because, I'm a very type A person. A lot of women are. But I would just get so frustrated. And what I realized is that my frustration in wanting the perfection was really creating a toxic environment in our home. And so that's when I really had to get the revelation of it really is not about perfection. It's really about, the house feeling warm and cozy and peaceful. But if I'm flipping out about something that didn't go right or is no longer perfect, then now the house has no peace. And I was the person, who was the agitator of it or what have you. And so I just think it's important. And two, also, some of this goes to how people are raised and the fact that, well, my mom did this, my grandma did that. It transitioned down from, one generation to the next. But just because your mom did something one way or your grandma did it another, it doesn't have to be that way. And also, too, it also comes down to your expectations. And sometimes we have harder expectations when all the people around us just want us to be as present, like you were talking about. It really is about not about the presents, the gifts, but you being the gift, because you'll get presents. There's nothing that my kids get for the holidays that I can't buy them at any different time of the year. But what I can give them is my intentionality and showing up and being present for them. And so I really focus on that.
And that's a great area to focus in, because oftentimes when we take our focus off of the pocketbook and trying to make things right and doing all this, you can really see how much your kids have grown. You can really tap into some of the stressors that they are having, to try to perform. Because as you mentioned, we kind of pass down stressors, to the people in our lives. And when that happens, it creates a really difficult environment for other people. Katrina, in this day and time and, just navigating the holidays and you enjoying the decorating and, Charlotte saying the similar thing with the decorating and the people coming over, that presence, it means a lot when people can come like family, because they are distant and we were disconnected for so long after COVID. People are finally starting, to come together, to get out. And then now we're facing this economic crisis, if you will. Do you tell the kids just don't buy stuff, just come and show up? Or should families still have this expectation that everybody's going to contribute and put their money in the pot? How do we navigate it?
I think it depends on your family and where your financial status is. Definitely one of the best things you can do is to provide that relief of stress and people worry. So if it's a potluck and you bring what you can, or if it's, hey, we're not going to give gifts, we're going to just exchange names, and you bring one gift and you make a game out of it, or you decide as adults, we're not giving gifts. The only gifts that are going to be given are to the children, right? I think there's always a way to navigate it so that everyone feels comfortable about it. And, we used to joke, I know, everybody said, oh, the best gift is a handmade gift. Well, you know what? That might be true, but the best gift could be that card that you wrote or that letter that you give to someone that you actually sat down and took time to craft your thoughts. That's something they can keep and they can go back and reflect on, right? The time that you take to drive to someone's house to be there for an hour to break bread and just laugh and embrace one another. That's something that they can't replace. There's no monetary value on that. So the gifts may look different than what they look like before. And I think that's the conversation you have with the people coming over your house is, you know what? We're all in this together. You don't have to do anything but come, or you just bring a potluck. There's that trend going around where you ask people to bring different color items, right, to your party. Maybe you do that for Christmas. It's a red and green thing. You bring something red, I bring something green. I mean, we're creative, right? We know how to do this. We know how to get through this. We are not new to this. So I think we just have to change our focus. It's not always on the monetary gifts or the material gifts. I like what Charlotte said. We are the gift, right? And so therefore we need to think about it that way.
I think that's interesting because if I could say or ask you this question, if there was something during the holidays that brings you stress that you would like to take out of the traditional bag, what would you remove, Charlotte? Is there anything that you could think of? And what would be? She's shaking her head already.
Yes, gifts. I would take them out. I would take them out because we don't get time back. Time is like the best gift ever. We don't get time back. And so for me, I now am in a season of my life where, so first of all, let me just say, I need to go back. Let me digress for a minute. I always tell my children, Christmas is not about you. It's about Jesus. Like, you have birthdays and things of that nature. So I clarified that with them like really quick, right? And so for me, when it comes to gifts, I don't want to be out shopping for gifts and things of that nature in the hustle and bustle. Now, I do have my children make it easy for me, and I'll tell you about that later. But my thing is, I would rather now just have an experience, something that they will always remember. Like, one Christmas, and I don't know when we're going to do this, but one Christmas, I just want everybody to get their passports and us just spend Christmas in a different country. Because they'll never forget that. They will never forget the fact that we went to Timbuktu or wherever we're going. They'll never forget that. And I just think that when we give time, when we give experiences, when we give moments that really matter, I think the whole gift thing can just like be squashed and going out the door. I don't mind gifts. I love giving gifts and receiving them. But at the end of the day, I just think it's very, I think that giving gifts can be very stressful.
Okay, Katrina.
The one thing I would take out is the decorating. I would prefer to hire someone to come decorate for me the way I want to. And that would relieve my stress, because that to me is the stress part. Making sure all the decorations are up, and then people that are helping me, namely my children. They're like, oh my God, Mom. But then when I decide not to put it, well, you didn't put it, well, you know what? I didn't have enough help. You guys are tight. So guess what? I would hire someone to come decorate my house November the 1st so that it would be up and ready to enjoy for the
You could
whole
hire
month.
me. You could hire me.
There we go. I got somebody because I got.
I love. Oh my gosh!
I
Yes,
got
go
the
crazy.
decorations. It's the people getting the decorations out that bother me. Like, oh my God, I gotta go up in the attic and get it for you. I'm 5 feet tall, dude. I cannot get up there. I just can't. So yes. That's my only stressor is decorations. That's it.
How about the putting up the decorations? Because whereas I think it's pretty, that might be why some of my decorations are still up. I didn't want to take them down, and they do look really nice. And so the nutcrackers are still out from last holiday season. The icicle cones are still out by the fireplace. Some of the lights still flip there, around the fireplace. I just felt like I needed holiday year round. And so I applaud people who leave their Christmas tree up. So before we go to break, when should the tree come down and go to the curb, Charlotte?
I'm not the one to ask. Because let me tell you something. If I could, I would leave my tree up all day. And actually, I have one tree that stays in my kitchen that is our year-round tree. So it'll be decorated for fall. It'll be decorated for summer. It'll be decorated for Easter. It'll be decorated for Christmas. That is my one tree that never comes down. Like, I don't know, you might be able to see it right there, but it's kind of like standing up right there. You see the top of it, but that is the tree that stays up all the time because listen, I love looking at these Christmas trees and all the dynamics of it. And I work really hard to put them up. So I just take them down when I get ready.
Okay, respect. Katrina?
I was raised old school. So, you can't take it down to like the second week of January at the earliest. That's
okay. Well, I will say that I've seen some trees be put out like February. And so I think that people will leave them up for as long as they can, especially if they get a live tree, which always smell, beautiful, during the holidays. Mm-hmm. When we come back after the break, I want to dive into this conversation about people. Because oftentimes during the holidays, everybody want to have some type of something to say, or everybody's in their feelings. And yes, I'm shaking my head because y'all know who you are, who always bring the drama to the holiday dinner. We'll talk about that when we come back after the break.
They said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat. So they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased black voters. Their goal, erase black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.
Welcome back, everybody. So let's talk about it. Who's not coming? And what happens if they show up, ladies?
Oh, this is such a sticky situation right here.
The holidays at the dinner table is something they all strive for. But ultimately, there's so many different family dynamics that people have, especially, in our community. So Charlotte, what are we doing about these unexpected guests? Let's start with that one because I got a list.
So, Let me just say, I usually don't have unexpected guests. And if I do have unexpected guests, they're usually my children's friends. And all of them are always welcome at our house. Like their friends always want to come over to our house because our house looks like a winter wonderland and it's very comfy and cozy. But I really don't usually have adults who come over unexpectedly. But when they do, I still offer, the hot cocoa. I still offer a cookie. I still offer, all of those things. But usually, even when the people who unexpectedly show up, like they know like my boundaries and the things that go on here. And so I don't usually, a lot of foolishness doesn't usually come into our home during the holiday season because I have already like set the tone and atmosphere. And I always set the tone and atmosphere, even walking in the door. Like when you walk in my house, it doesn't feel cold. It doesn't feel all these different things. So somebody who's bringing an unright spirit in here, we just have to I've already prayed for them to not stay long.
I love that, Katrina.
I don't know what you're talking about. You can't get in my house and you're not invited. So that's not.
No, that's right.
You don't even know we having something because I didn't even invite you. So you showing up unannounced, not gonna happen. This is not. So I'm good over here. I'm good.
Okay. All right. I like that. So uninvited guests, especially in our community, if you weren't invited, you don't come. If you don't call, don't text, don't come, because chances of you getting through the door, holiday or not, are slim to none. But let's talk about this other dynamic that often shows up, and it's family dynamics. So when the auntie come or the cousin come or, the baby mama come or the baby daddy come, there are people in our community, and I'm asking you all this, Charlotte as family strategist, Katrina as coach, how do we help our viewers navigate feelings and emotions associated with family members who in the past and maybe still presently rub them the wrong way, not only by the mentioning of their name, but just the thought and idea of them being in the same space together? Because healing can't often take place if people aren't willing to address what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. That is really, really true. But during holiday seasons and stuff like that, that's not the time and place to address that kind of stuff. You need to start addressing that stuff before holidays come around. And when it comes to family members and baby mama drama, we don't have baby mama drama over here. Hallelujah to the Lamb on that. But you owe it to the people who are hosting an event. You owe it to them to have conversations with the people that you're trying to bring into that space. For instance, if one of my children had a friend, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, it is their job and their responsibility to tell Sue or John at our house, this is this, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It's their job to educate the people coming into our environment what our environment is like. And that's out of respect and consideration. But don't go to the holiday events you may have some baggage, but what I need you to do is to be able to have some self-awareness and to know time and place for all things. And time and place for all things is not for, the time and place to have these big grandiose conversations are not during times like that, unless you're now saying, you know what? We had these pre-conversations and we've started doing the healing work. And if something comes up, because I have been in environments where people just have these explosive brawls, during the holidays. And my thing is, if you're still feeling that type of energy, if you're still feeling that type of hurt and pain down in your shanana, then maybe you really need to reconsider whether you are going to show up or whether you're going to show up for yourself and do something different. Because you do get to show up for yourself and do something different, especially when you're an adult. You know, when you're an adult, you get to say, no, I'm not coming. You know, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. And the people whose space that you're going into, they need to be able to respect that. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. I would follow and say, if you have an issue for our people who are listening with someone, you know you have an issue with them. You know you don't like that girl. You know she plucks your nerves. You don't want her bringing the potato salad, the mashed potatoes, whatever it is. You don't want her there. But what you need to do is have a conversation before the event and say, "Look, we're going to be in the same vicinity. We are constantly in the same grouping. We have to be able to manage our emotions while we're there. We don't ever have to be besties, but what we can do is be cordial to one another in those type of environments." And so I think the more that we adult, because that's adulting, and we're teaching our young people those skills as well. You don't have to like everybody, but what you can do is be cordial in those environments during that time. And if you know, as some people say, you're going to get it on and pop it, then stay home.
Stay home.
That part.
Yourself. Stay home.
That is true.
If you know Boom Quisha, the sight of her makes you go off, it gets your blood pressure up and boiling, then stay home. You and Boom Quisha can't be in the same room yet.
So that brings up another thing, ladies, because oftentimes being coaches and the things that we do, we tell people it's okay to have an escape plan. But oftentimes the people that you're around and in your family think you acting kind of funny or acting out when you say, I need to step away for a minute. How important, and Charlotte mentioned boundaries, how important is it to have your own boundaries and know when enough is enough for you, and you be comfortable with stepping out for some fresh air, or, you know, going into another room and checking on the kids or having other conversations? Because there's no reason to sit around and brood and then you on your phone texting your cousins and your mama and everybody else, you know, about how you're feeling, creating this angst that doesn't need to be there. How do we help people have an escape plan so that they can tell their family members, like, look, if it gets like whatever and I'm in my feelings and y'all start talking about a certain thing, I'm just going to excuse myself for a minute. And that needs to be respected.
But do you have to make that announcement? Why do we feel the need to let everybody know might be in my feelings and so I'm going to step out? Do we have to?
I think privately you do. You need to tell somebody that you might need to.
Yeah, but you are controlling your emotions, right? So maybe you take with one person, but when we start telling everybody that, that's a problem. If you say, hey, I'm not going to be able to handle this, I've got a backup plan. The moment I become overwhelmed, you tell your husband or whoever you with your daughter, son, when I feel like it's getting too much, I may say I need some water, or I may get some fresh air, or I may excuse myself, or I may say I'm not feeling well. And not feeling well doesn't mean you're sick. It might be protecting your mental health. I'm not feeling well. It's been lovely seeing everybody. I gotta go. But we don't need to announce, oh, y'all finna get on my nerves right now. I'm gonna have to roll up out of here. And that's what we do, because we cause a scene, camera, lights in action. So we gotta stop that, right? Stop it.
Ooh, girl.
You know that, hey, I'm trying to do this the best I can. You can tell one person, but what happens is we tell more than one person. We do. And that's too much. We're doing too much. You have to protect your mental health. So your backup plan is, how am I going to protect my mental health? What am I going to do? Am I going to pull out my phone? Am I going to have a code that I text my girlfriend, call me if I text 311 to you? Call me. I pick up and say, oh, hey, I got to call y'all. I got to take this. And that gets you out the room. Have an exit strategy. It's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't mean everybody has to know either.
Charlotte, anything on that? Because I know.
No, I don't. Like, I mean, I think Miss Katrina said it all. She said a mouthful, and we felt her. We felt everything that she was saying. But the one thing I will say is that have your own exit strategy, know what your plan is, and know who your safe person is within this space that you're going to be in. I mean, because when we have our safe person who is our safe space, then that is the person that you'll be around. That is the person who you can say, hey, listen, I'm about to roll. I'll see you guys later, whatever, and that safe person will know, because that safe person is going to know you anyway. They're going to know what your dynamics are. So just have a plan, have a safe person, a safe space, and do what you need to do to protect yourself.
Yeah.
For your own peace.
Yep.
Mm. Peace in the city and peace in the field. I honestly hear everything that you're saying, and I think it's valid and important that people now, if you're going to these gatherings and you understand the dynamics of your own family, and you know that you can have these safe conversations, and some things might be a little tender, it is good, to have those conversations. I'm going to jump on now to break, because I do want to talk about this economy thing again. Mm-hmm. So during the holidays, and we're going to talk about this after the break, y'all know the rule. Did you bring a dish, and should you take a dish? But in this economy, how important is it to fix some plates and send them home with people? We'll be back in a moment after the break.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. And I know that as we move into these holidays, Katrina and Charlotte have given us some amazing concepts and ideas that we should put in our toolkit, because balancing holidays is not easy. Ladies, let's talk about this for a moment, because I know our family, we are big on sending people home with plates. But I know that there are some families who are out there like, no, they didn't bring nothing, so they can't take nothing. So how do we deal with that? Yes, and I'm using all the bad English today because I'm feeling it, like Charlotte said, in my sha-na-na. So let's talk about that, ladies, for a moment. Some people just don't feel benevolent no matter what. They had a good time. There's plenty of food left. And they're like, well, she bring ice? It's sort of like, how do you, come on now. People need food for days ahead. Come on, Katrina, say it.
I don't know. If you brought ice, you could take the ice back home. It does. I don't know what to tell you. It really is, like you said, the benevolent spirit. A lot of us are like, hey, go ahead, take something. But let's be for real, as the kids say, we clocking it, right? Oh, she walked in here with nothing but taking 2 B-Lo bags. If you from Tidewater, you know what
B-Lo, Lord have mercy.
B-Lo bags out of here with food. We know it. It happens in our family, and we talk about it when the people leave. But are we really being benevolent? Maybe she didn't have it to bring.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let's be for real. You just talked about the economy and what we're going through right now. They may not have it to bring. So are we going to talk about them or let them take the food? What we going to do? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a good question, Charlotte.
Well, I definitely believe that we don't know people and their capacity. Sometimes people don't bring things because they don't know how to cook or what have you. I mean, but even if you don't cook, like, okay, so let me just say this. Friends, if you're watching this, if you don't cook and you know you don't cook, that is okay. But can you bring some drinks? Can you bring some ice cream? There are things that you actually can bring that have nothing to do with you cooking. And all you have to do is call up the person who's hosting your gathering and say, hey, aside from food, what else do you guys need? Do you need paper plates? Do you need napkins? Do you need plasticware? Do you need drinks? Do you need ice cream? Do you need a dessert that doesn't have to be homemade? There are certain things that you can actually offer so that you're not being perceived as a taker. Now, everybody may not be financially capable of bringing something, and that's okay. But, be mindful of the role that you're playing when you show up or when you don't show up with something. Because here's the deal. If one of my family members doesn't bring anything, it doesn't make me love them any less. And it's not going to make me be like, girl, you better not take that plate. You didn't bring nothing. You can't take nothing. I'm not going to be like that. I'm really not, because I am a benevolent person. I am a giver. And so for me, it's not necessarily about what somebody brings. But even if somebody doesn't bring something, you can still offer to bring something and let the host or hostess say, no, I don't really need that. I just want you and your presence. And that's all that matters.
I think that's extremely valid.
Well, something that Charlotte said is interesting. If you are not a cook, this is not the holiday for you to try to cook something and bring for everybody to taste.
Please don't.
Please don't do that to us. If you don't cook during the regular part of the year, don't try it for the holiday. Bring something, buy something and bring it, or ask the host, maybe a bottle of wine, maybe it's a case of water, but offer. But that's not the time to try to cook. That's not.
Well, let me just say this, because I think it's also important to do some other things during the holidays. It's like someone slaved over the meal. They cooked it all. They got it together. Guys, bag up the trash and take it outside. Put it in the garage. Find time, ladies, as people are eating throughout the evening, and gentlemen, clear the kitchen from time to time so that the dishes and the pots and the pans, everybody has a role to play, because holidays are for family and for people who are seeking to be a part of family. It's a really good time. All you future fiancés and everybody want to get engaged during the holidays, this, that, and the other. Show them that you know how to be a part of the unit, because everybody is watching everybody. And this isn't to say that this is the norm. I'm saying that if you've been around a family for a certain amount of time, you know the rhythm of the family. Don't just be a couch potato or sit in the backyard with your beer in your hand or whatever it is that people do during the holidays. It's a time to be a part of that unit. And I don't think, ladies, I'm going to ask you that, because some people, I know ladies, not y'all, but the people watching, y'all hate for people to be in your kitchen. So, are we sharing kitchens this holiday season so other people can help and support?
Absolutely. Because my thing is, listen, if I did all the cooking, which I do most of the cooking, then yes, when it's all said and done, I want to be able to just chill and sit down, do whatever. I don't care that somebody is in my kitchen washing the dishes or do whatever. Help your wonderful self. I have a sign in my kitchen that says, welcome if you're going to help do the dishes. Help yourself. Help yourself. I also have a mat at my front door that says, be our guest, but leave by 9. Understand like your time limits and all of those things. But yes, I'm sharing the kitchen. I'm sharing space. I'm doing all that. If people want to come and cook something in my kitchen, I'm okay with that too. I have no problem with doing that, because I don't feel, there used to be a season in my life when I felt like I needed to shoulder everything. I am over that. My shoulders, you see how I'm not broad. They can only hold so much. I'm not doing that. I'm not feeling like I have to do everything by myself. And if you have children, if you have children, and depending on their ages, there are age appropriate things that you can teach your children how to cook so that you don't have to feel like you're doing everything all the time. Because some people are like, oh, I did all this. Well, did you do it because you wanted to do it? And now you're just being extra about it because you did it all. But is it because you wanted to do it all? Because you don't have to do it all. So like, check yourself when it comes to these types of things.
That's a great way to create balance, delegating, tasks and responsibilities for the age appropriate people in your home.
Yes.
Yeah, Katrina.
There are certain things that I'm not Charlotte, okay? Yes, you can cook in my kitchen, but you can't cook everything in my kitchen. Some things you might cook, I need it cooked in a different pan. I don't like certain meats, pig feet, and things cooked in certain pots or pans. You're welcome to cook it, but I have a different pan for it because I don't eat it, right? So I don't turn people away, and I'm definitely not going to turn you away from doing no dishes, cleaning the table, putting the plates up, taking the trash out. I'm not going to turn you away for that. I just, like you said, I am thankful for any help that I can get. But when you cook something, make sure you're cooking something that's your specialty, that you're good at.
So, Katrina, what is it that you're good at cooking?
Me now, it depends on the menu. Like I said, I'm a theme person. I love seafood. I'm huge on seafood, but I know that there are favorites that my kids like to eat. We have to have macaroni and cheese for every holiday meal, no matter what else we have. But I'll do a theme like brunch with chicken and waffles, fresh fruits, Minnie Mouse pancakes for the grandchildren. Like, I'll do a whole pancake bar so that you can make, put chocolate chips, whatever you need to make yourself fluffy for the holidays. And then I'll follow up with something different from dinner, lamb chops. So it just depends. But I like theme meals because once again, it's about the experience, right? I want them to have a pleasant experience.
Absolutely. Charlotte, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Gumbo.
Okay.
Collard greens. Banana pudding. That's my husband's favorite. Like, we always have to have banana pudding. Macaroni and cheese. I can make a mean pound cake. Oh my goodness. I can make a lot of things. Like, sometimes they look at me like, do you cook? Yes, I cook. How would these people eat if I didn't cook? Like, yes, I cook. So, but my mama is the one who usually does the turkey and things of that nature. And I don't know, sometimes people don't want the same thing for the same thing that they had for Thanksgiving. They don't want the same thing for Christmas.
True.
So sometimes we'll do like lasagna, or I'll, fry some chicken, or, do whatever. But yeah, I'm a really good cook. There's really nothing that I can't cook.
Okay. Well, I like that. So let me ask you this question. And I know that.
Wait, no, you can't ask. You asked us what we like to cook. What do you like to cook?
That question.
Oh, I cook breakfast. The end. I don't care whose house I'm at. I will do, my bacon is always long and lean, no wrinkles, extremely crispy. I will get up and do eggs and an omelet. I am the breakfast person. So y'all can have all them. Anything after 12 ain't me.
Oh my God.
Well, between 9 and noon, I got you, because I will do breakfast. It's always grits, eggs, and bacon. That's breakfast. Grits, eggs, and bacon. I'm the morning person. I will get up and cook breakfast for whoever is here that wants to eat it, and a few fried green tomatoes. After that, that's for everybody else. I know my limitations, people, because I'm not cooking the turkey. I'm not doing the dressing, and I'm not going to play with that ham. So there you have it. And it's true. People, anybody in my family will tell you, I can cook a lot of things, but holiday dinner. Oh, and I will bring the canned jelly cranberry sauce. That's me now. I got you on cranberry sauce.
Maybe she said canned.
She said canned. Oh my gosh.
No, we leave all
when
them real
when you
cranberries to the
invite her
chefs
to
in the
your house,
house.
just know that's what she bringing is a canned cranberry. And so you let her take that back home, whatever's not eaten. It's the canned cranberry.
But those are my things that I cook as it relates to holidays. Now I can cook a whole bunch of other stuff, but for the holidays, I'm the breakfast go-to girl. It's like y'all get up, I wake you up on bacon. I don't care how long y'all sleeping. As soon as they smell that bacon, Tia's cooking breakfast, and everybody
I
comes
love
around.
that.
Yeah, I'm the breakfast cook. I am the morning breakfast girl. So that's one of those things. And I know that we have to go to a break, but let me ask you guys, what's the deal with dressing? What is a must with the dressing? Is it bread or is it cornbread? I know how I like my dressing. It's everything but bread. It's got to be cornbread for me. So does anybody have a preference? And for community purposes, do we care?
I don't
My
know.
mama always does cornbread.
I don't do cornbread. I grew up doing bread and not cornbread. So it's just what, like you said, tradition. Now I'll eat it if someone fixes it with cornbread, but if I fix it, it's gonna have bread.
Interesting. So I guess the other question is turkey or ham?
Both.
Turkey.
Really?
In what? So I depends.
No, turkey or ham
No,
as your
because
meat. I'm a ham girl.
When I make greens, I don't use ham. When I make greens, I use turkey.
And for your main meat, ham or turkey, which do you prefer?
So I like the dark meat on the turkey because I don't like dry turkey. So
Okay.
I'll always go for like the leg or something like that. But I like the dark meat on the turkey. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have 4 meats. I'm not gonna do 2 meats because
4?
it's gonna
What
be
are
a
they?
ham. Girls gonna be ham, a turkey, maybe a rack of lamb, and then there's gonna be a seafood option.
Okay.
I like seafood. I probably can eat it every day. So there's always gonna be a seafood option. One of my grandchildren, I call him a little pescatarian. He he loves seafood just like I do. So there's always a seafood option. So there's going to be 4 meats. Now, before we get to the meats, we done had appetizers. And appetizers range from smoked sausage, queso. There's a lot going on.
Jackie, we're going to Katrina's house for the holidays.
I'm saying we're going at least for the appetizers.
Yeah, appetizers. You can be full on the appetizers, but
I think that's fun.
It's about the experience because I want people to be able to eat all day. So
I love that.
Ways available for you to eat all day until we have dinner. So yeah.
Okay. I know I've got to go to the break. My last question: favorite dessert for the holidays?
German chocolate cake.
Bet.
It's going to be some type of apple dessert for me.
Okay.
I love apple desserts. So, yeah.
I'm with the German chocolate cake, and I'm from the South. So whether it's pecan or pecan, it better be on the table. Those are my a pecan pie or a pecan pie. Those would be my favorite too.
And pineapple upside down cake too.
Okay, now that's a good dessert.
I love that.
Pineapple upside down cake. Okay, I love that. So as you can tell, we're all going to be gaining a little bit of weight over the holidays. I'm going to try to lose 10 pounds so I can gain 10 pounds. Everybody, when we come back after the break, I'll give my reflection.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $6.65 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to A Balanced Life with Dr. Jacquie. And today we're talking about the holidays, and it's supposed to be a time of peace, joy, and reflection. I hope that something that we have said here today has allowed you to really figure out not only how to set your boundaries so that way you're comfortable in the presence of the people you'll be around for the holidays, but also you give yourself time to understand your presence matters and it's not about perfection. So take time, enjoy the holidays. Bye now.